Perky Plains and RC here, operating at 72 megahertz, and got the good old H2O. Here we go. I actually had just a little bit of tea this morning to kind of wake me up here. So, amidst acquiring some of this old gear, here was a 72 megahertz crystal, I think is what they call them, amidst all this stuff here. So, pretty cool little find. Probably honestly will not be using it ever, but it's still kind of cool to kind of see how things were kind of done, in the early days there. So, all right, well, let's talk about some things here. So, what's been going on since the last update? Of course, y'all know that the building has the official electric hookup. So, of course, that's been going great as well. It's been nice to actually have some reliable power out here. So, as far as what's been going on, pretty much aside from any building stuff here that I've been doing, I have been really focused on the Carl Goldberg Wild Stick 120 that I acquired over a year ago. Trying to get it fixed up for the season, and basically just bring some new life to it and everything, get it back up in the air. Because when I got it, the guy himself, he couldn't even recall himself how long it's been since it's been up in the air. So been extremely focused on getting it fixed up and ready. And let me go ahead and show you some progress on it so far. All right, first thing I want to talk about on the Carl Goldberg Wild Stick is that I had purchased a Life battery pack for this airplane. I'm going to use it to power the receiver. I've heard lots of good things about using Life batteries for receivers, as well as people sometimes use LiPos, and some people use old NiCads and things like that as well. So, but I have heard that people using Life batteries for their receivers. So this here is a 2-cell 1500 milliamp Life battery pack. Has all the necessary connections I already need with it. However, I might switch the Deans out and change it to an XT60, but I've been able to work with it for now. From what I can tell, from what I've experienced so far, it's not much different than charging a LiPo, so that's good. Not a whole lot of new things there, aside from just selecting Life on my battery charger. So anyways, that's the first thing we're going to talk about, is I've been using that for my receiver. All right, let's move on over here to the engine and all that good stuff. So as you can see, the engine is mounted back on the airplane. I also have the muffler reattached, ready to go. Fuel line to the carb, as well as a fuel filter, and line from the muffler is what this is right here. Going into this new DuBro 16-ounce glow fuel tank. In the fuel compartment here, it was originally fixed up with just some basic little foam pieces, so I've completely taken that out. I went ahead and played it safe and did a little bit, put a layer of epoxy all around the fuel compartment there, and then I used a pool noodle cut up in little sections here to sort of wedge this thing in place and keep it from moving and stuff. And honestly, it is super tight in there. I mean, the thing I don't think is going to budge much at all. So that's some little trick I read that somebody had used, and I decided to implement the pool noodle thing as well. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with how firm it's holding in there. So let's move on down here. Of course, you can see I've got my Sky X8R 8-channel receiver, which I'll be using to power this thing. Hooked up my servos for now, what I have here. I did switch this guy out. The original throttle servo is rigged up with with kind of an older style onboard glow system, to where there was actually a little switch here that when the servo initiated it, turned on the glow, and it was a pretty neat little setup. But like I said, for right now, I was just going to kind of do it all natural, I guess you could say. And If at some point I need the onboard globe back, we can always get a newer system in there. But but anyways, this original servo was retrofitted for the onboard glow, so it was actually very difficult to remove because it was epoxied on and everything. So I just said, forget it. I'll just slap this new Hitec servo in here and use for throttle for now. And let me switch over real quick, get this thing powered on so you all can see it in action. Alright, we're back here, and I do have the receiver powered on here with the Life battery. So let's go ahead and give this thing a try.
Throttle active.
We'll first do your throttle here. So there's that. And while we're on it, since it's right there, we'll go ahead and do the rudder. And we'll go ahead and, of course, the elevator servos are actually here on the side. So there's your elevator good to go right there. So as you can see, pretty well good to go. All right, something I've done here on the Tyrannus is that normally you would have dual rates, low and high. I actually programmed in sort of a triple rates for like a low, medium, high kind of setup, which I think I have seen a lot of people actually do that with this radio and for airplanes. So I took this little 3 selector switch right here to control my triple rates there. So I'll go ahead and just kind of quickly demonstrate that. So that's full on high rates on the elevator. I'm going to move the switch down. That's your middle. And then finally on low, you can see it's kind of barely going there. So that is something that I did do with the Tyrannus. And as far as that, everything else is going well with the Tyrannus as well. I did have to, I think on this, I did have to reverse a few servos. But pretty easy. All right, guys. Well, that is all from me and the good old Carl Goldberg Wild Stick. Maybe next time around we'll get to see the wing as I do some updates to it as well. But that is all from me, guys. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and let's see you in the next video.